Ryan. Hyper Boost Grand Victory. Boost 9 Strike. Dynamite Boost Time. Boost 9 Victory. Boost 9 Strike. Boost Time. Boost 9 Strike. Dynamite Boost Time. Hyper Boost Victory.